Everyone, welcome to Anaheim and the embedded world North America. I'm Thomas. I'm here with the company Trenz from Germany and our US-based distributor, which is Concurrent EDA. So you might have stumbled upon us in the past, but to give you a broader overview of what we actually do is, we're a Germany-based design house. So we do all of these beautiful boards up here. We do everything that is FPGA-based, the bare design, the hardware design, the assembly, the test, everything is in-house. So we really do know our products. And we also make the board support packages available, the reference designs, so you can really buy them, plug them in, and start working with them.
So you like to work with FPGA?
Exactly. Everything that's FPGA-based, doesn't matter which vendor, as long as it's somewhat FPGA-ish, we will have a solution already available. Or if we do not have that, send us your requirements, and we can do a lot of custom stuff to really find the perfect fit for you.
Over 500 rugged FPGA modules.
Exactly. It does sound a lot, but you have to take into account it's only 2,500 product families, but we call it a service to really make sure that you have the perfect fit. Even though you might have validated a form factor already, we will have it there so it can be cost efficient and really the best approach for your final solution. And to showcase that, for example, as I mentioned, we have our distributor and value-added partner here as well, who is also leveraging our IP, our hardware, on their IP, and then demonstrating what they can do on our board, and showing that they really know our hardware but know their stuff, so they can address the customer with a final solution. They can distribute that within the US. One thing that where they also really do shine at is not just our hardware, but everything that's generic, also FPGA based. So they have the same custom approach as we do. So
how good are these AMD chips? The latest solutions?
Well, the latest ones in this case are the Versal AMDs. We all know that AI is the big thing everyone is talking about. So we have been working very closely, especially with AMD. We're a premier partner. So we usually even start way before production silicon becomes available and do engineering samples, pre-production. So once you actually buy a board from us, you can make sure that it is validated design. We do not test on our customers, but we actually make sure that you can really start out of the box.
And what do we see here?
So we see here, as I mentioned, this is based on the Versal AI Edge actually. It's on the AI tile, it's running an image classification, translation, and then text output, which is one real-world AI application on the newest generation of AMD chips.
So why do you like working with FPGAs? And what do your customers like using FPGAs?
Well, they really like the high degree of flexibility and adaptivity. So even though you might have worked with CPUs in the past, that's interesting, but that's slow. They're dedicated to simple processes, and the FPGAs really give you the advantage of high compute in parallel with not needing a lot of power and resources.
And in the world of the marketing term Edge AI, how big is the role for these kind of boards?
Well, to be fully transparent, the Versal AI board that we built for AMD and with AMD is the one where we have seen the highest traction for regarding a new FPGA family. So there are the MP-SOCs, there are the Zinc 7000s, but when the Versals got released, we have never seen that much demand on an entirely new product family. So for us, we're keen to see more, and next year we're going to have the Versal Gen 2 SoM available at the Embedded World in Germany.
And is it going to bring even more performance, like amazing Edge AI stuff?
No, it's just tiny. It's just 10 times more compute. So the Versal AI Edge Gen 2 is not just a successor, but it's more like a new generation of AI FPGA based.
And so your company is even more and more busy?
Oh yes, luckily yes. So we are extremely busy, but it's still, we do have the upside of having everything at a single location, so we can really have the short processes and leverage their expertise as quickly as possible and make sure that even though we're busy, we can commit to our delivery dates and can make sure that the time to market for a customer is very low.
And you have the engineers in Germany?
Yes, we have them all in Germany, all the departments, because it really gives us the upside that if we design a new board, especially for customers, we assemble it in the morning, we hand it over to the hardware colleagues in the afternoon, and we literally have first feedback on the same day. So even if then they might identify an issue, then they can discuss that with the FPGA departments or with production. So that's why we have the philosophy of having everyone at the same location to really be as quick as possible.
And so that means that your company has some really talented FPGA experts in the company?
I'm not an engineer, and I have to tell you, I'm working with the company now for 7 years. I still don't understand half of what they're talking about. So I envy them for all the knowledge, and I have to admit, it is astonishing how often they actually have to educate themselves, because it's usually a very short circle of news. Every single year something new is coming out, and they always are up to date. So I'm really impressed every single day I work with them.
So it's a job where there's constant learning, like constant improving themselves to learn the latest new tricks.
Exactly, and they have to learn it, so our customers can really rely on that, and they don't have to invest the time and money, but can just go ahead to their partner and leverage everything.
And sometimes the FPGA is used as some kind of step before you do it on silicon. Do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like simulation of
yes.
an ARM SoC for later or something like that?
That's one of the approaches, but what we also see is with the standard portfolio that we have, customers tend, well, to be fully honest, a customer sometimes or not always knows what they really need. So they might actually want to try out different generations or different product variations. So we give them the possibility to use different FPGA families, even on the same baseboard, so they can really plug and play and evaluate. And once they know this is what we need, we can then have the final solution ready for them.
So sometimes when you ship an FPGA device, you kind of future-proof because you might figure out whole new uses for the device.
Yes, but then you're also addressing a different topic, which is obsolescence management probably, and longevity and life cycle, if I understood you correctly. So we have a very easy philosophy regarding obsolescence management that says we will build it as long as we get the parts. So usually the limiting factor is the FPGA itself, but with AMD, also with Altera, Microchip, Lattice, all of them, they usually have at least 20 to 25 years. So what we do internally, if we are aware of an obsolescence, we then prepare a form fit and functional replacement, address that to the customer and say, hey, this is going to happen. You have 3 solutions. We can issue a last time buy, we can provide you with the design files if that really is necessary, or here's the successor, validate it, get the prototypes before we have to change your new vision, and then you do not have any impact on your product line.
How old is your company?
It was founded as a limited liability company in 2002, so soon we're going to celebrate a quarter of a century.
So are there any FPGAs that were there in 2002-03 that are still shipping?
Well, that's a good question. Just last year, most of you might know the old Spartan, especially the Spartan 3 families, which have been outdated. Let's call them outdated for quite some time. We discontinued them last year. So
it's been 22 years.
Even longer than that. That one has actually been almost for 30 years. So as long as as the vendors make the silicon available, we will always have a revision available that you do not have to reconsider your decision or actually have to change your design. But we will be there and support you as long as possible. So even, for example, we had that with Spartan 6 throughout the COVID situation, then it was not able to be shipped. So we have been there, we sat down and said, okay, what would be a comparable approach? Would it be an RTX 7? And then we actually designed something that is as close as possible and told the customers, we don't know when we get the Spartan 6 again, but if it's urgent, use this board, and once we can go back, we will be there and have it ready for you.
And I don't want to make the video too long because you need to go back to your event, but I guess there's some really cool projects that you work with that must be fun. Right?
Oh, they are fun, but most of them are under NDA, so I would love to share some of them.
And it's cool to know that you work on cool stuff.
It is. I once had a short talk about this, and I realized a nice marketing slogan that I'd like to reuse. It's from mice to moon. So we actually have had a customer project that wanted to control and view lab mice in a pharmaceutical surrounding. So that is from mice. But we also do have space grade or space SoMs that are actually currently flying in the orbit. So we have everything in between as well. If it's industrial, if it's medical, if it's defense, test and measurement. You literally every single day, or every time a customer comes up with a new idea, it's a brave new world and we really enjoy it.
And maybe in the future it will be the mice on the moon. And that would be also maybe
that would be very
FPGAs.
interesting. Maybe we can actually mount a small camera with an FPGA on the mice and let them crawl around the moon. Maybe we should patent that.
Okay.
Don't get fooled by fake HDMI products. Only source authentic HDMI products from licensed HDMI adopters and authorized manufacturers and
resellers to ensure compliance. Counterfeit or unlicensed products can cause poor performance.
Certified HDMI products undergo official testing for safety and spec compliance.
Avoid brand damage, warranty issues, and customer dissatisfaction from unlicensed products.
Long-term cost savings come from reliable, genuine HDMI solutions.
Unlicensed products may lack support and pose safety risks.
Use certified HDMI cables with official HDMI certification labels.
Report suspected counterfeit products at hdmi.org/resource/infringe.
Thanks to our global partners for helping keep the HDMI brand real and ensuring consumers get the experience they deserve.